You work harder than him. You wake up earlier, sleep later, never stop moving. And him. He wakes up at 9, drinks his coffee peacefully, opens his phone, and checks how much money he made while sleeping. Why? Not because he's smarter than you, not because he's luckier, and not because he has connections. The only difference between you and him is the way you think. In this video, I'm not going to give you the same generic advice you hear everywhere. I'm going to show you exactly how wealthy people think. Away from the cameras, away from the fake interviews. Stay until the end, because the last point is the one that changed the lives of many rich people, and almost nobody talks about it. The difference between a poor mindset and a wealth mindset. Let me be honest with you. The problem isn't money. The problem is the way you think about money. A person living with a poor mindset isn't necessarily poor. It's the person who constantly thinks about safety. I want a stable job. I want guaranteed income. I don't want to try something new. I might fail. There's nothing wrong with this from a human perspective. But financially, it's one of the biggest reasons people stay broke. Rich people think completely differently. They don't ask, how do I protect what I have? They ask, how do I grow it? Take a simple example. Two people both have $10,000. The first puts it in the bank, feels safe, and after 1 year still has $10,000. Actually less because of inflation. The second studies, learns, and invests it, maybe in stocks, maybe in a skill, maybe in a small business. After a year, he might lose money, but he could also turn it into $15,000 or even $20,000. The difference isn't the amount. The difference is the decision. Rich people accept the possibility of losing in exchange for the opportunity to gain. That calculated risk-taking is the foundation of almost every fortune. Another important point, a poor mindset says, money is the problem. I don't have enough. A wealth mindset says, how can I find a way to create the money I need? Successful people don't stop at obstacles. They look for ways around them. How rich people treat time. This is the secret that, if you truly understand it, will completely change the way you see life. Let me ask you something. How many hours do you sell every day for a fixed amount of money? That's basically what a job is. You sell your time in exchange for a paycheck. The problem? Time is limited. 24 hours, no more. Which means your income is naturally limited too. Rich people think differently. They don't ask, how much do I make per hour? They ask, how can I build something that earns money without me? That's what people call passive income. A real example. One person buys an apartment and rents it out. Money comes in while he sleeps. Another writes a book once, and it sells for years. A third builds a YouTube channel, and old videos keep generating views every day. What's the difference? Each of them built a system instead of constantly selling their time. But let me be honest, this takes effort in the beginning. There's no such thing as getting rich without work. The difference is that you work hard once and benefit for years, instead of working every day just to survive month by month. Another important thing about time, rich people don't waste time doing tasks someone else can do. They delegate. If a task takes you 2 hours and someone else can do it for $50, a wealthy person pays the $50 and uses those 2 hours to make $500 somewhere else. That's thinking in terms of value, not just saving money. Why investing is more important than saving. Let me say something that might shock you. Saving money alone will never make you rich. I'm not against saving. Saving is a great habit, but saving alone, it's simply delaying poverty, not escaping it. The reason is simple. Inflation. Every year, money loses value. What $100 could buy 10 years ago is very different from what it buys today. So if you save $100,000 in the bank for 10 years, technically you still have $100,000. But in purchasing power, maybe it's worth only $80,000 or even less. You lost money while thinking you were protecting it. Investing is the solution. But before talking about how to invest, you need to understand one core principle. Rich people don't spend first and save what's left. They invest first, then spend what remains. That difference is huge. Most people spend money on needs and wants, then save whatever is left at the end of the month, if anything is left. Rich people decide on a fixed amount to invest every month and take it out immediately when income arrives, before any spending happens. That's called pay yourself first. So where do wealthy people invest? First, stocks and index funds. Historically, the stock market over the long term, 10, 15, 20 years, has generated around 7% to 10% annually. You don't need to be an expert, you just need patience and consistency. Second, real estate. Land and property rarely lose value over the long term, and they can generate monthly rental income. Third, investing in yourself. And this is what many people ignore, which brings us to the next section. The golden rule of investing. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify, learn, and stay patient. The power of skills and relationships. Now we've reached the point I promised could change your life. First, skills. There's a famous quote, "Take away all my money, and within 5 years I'll make it back twice over. But take away my skills, and I won't be able to rebuild anything." Rich people understand that skills are assets nobody can steal. A skill in sales, you can attract clients for life. A skill in programming, you can build digital products from scratch. A skill in marketing, you can turn ordinary ideas into profitable businesses. Wealthy people spend generously on learning skills, courses, books, mentorships. They don't see these as expenses. They see them as investments with massive returns. Ask yourself this: how much money did you spend improving your skills this year? Now compare that to how much you spent on entertainment or material things. The answer often explains why some people stay stuck. Second, relationships. The biggest secret. There's an American saying, "Your network is your net worth." And it's more true than most people realize. The biggest opportunities in life are rarely advertised. You won't find them in job listings. You won't find them on random websites. You find them in conversations between friends, at coffee meetings, in short messages from people who trust you. Rich people build relationships before they need them. They give before they ask. They help before expecting help, because they understand a golden rule. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So how do you build a powerful network? First, be useful. Always ask yourself, how can I help this person? Not, how can this person help me? Second, show up. Communities, events, conferences. These are places where real wealth is built. Third, focus on quality, not quantity. 5 deep relationships with successful people are far more valuable than 500 shallow connections. So here's what we learned today. Rich people don't think about safety. They think about growth. They don't sell their time. They build systems. They don't just save. They invest first. And they don't work alone. They build relationships and develop valuable skills. These principles aren't only for rich people. They're for anyone who decides to stop living reactively and start planning intentionally. Wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts here, in your mindset. If this helped you, hit the like button right now. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to the channel. A new mindset video every week.